My earliest memories go way back to when I'm about 3 years old, and all of them are hinged around some phase of nature.
I was raised in Colorado. That's why I like open spaces. We spent every summer out on a ranch.
With another friend and I, we traipsed off into the world of nature and climbed every tree that might have a hawk's nest in it.
Big trees and open spaces are what I love.
My father, I can hear him yet, just so gruff. He said, "You'll never amount to a damn with fooling with those old hawks." He said, "My God, what are you going to be when you amount to something? You'll never amount to anything." My love of nature made me realize at a very young age that a job was not for me. I had to do something for the environment. It was just kind of in me. I thought, I don't have enough money and I can't stand asking anybody for money. So I realized I had to have it myself, and I had a knack in real estate and had a partner that trusted me, and we went on and made a sizable fortune.
He was out there in the trenches every day doing business. He hated it, but he did it, and he said he would retire by the time he was 35, and he did.
In 5 years, I was all finished.
John's very much a self-made man. More or less by his early 20s, he had decided what he wanted to do with his life, and he set out to do it, and he did it.
Everything I touched just suddenly just turned to a slot machine opening, everything.
I think John and Melody have a really, really fascinating and admirable dynamic.
We are very dynamic together, and we talk about that all the time, how had we not been together, our lives would have been so much different.
We're a good pair, an essential pair for the environmental work we've done.
Unlike many, they've taken their wealth and they've done things that are lasting.
John and I are philanthropists. That's what we live for.
This is not just simply making money for the sake of making money, it's making money for the sake of doing good.
We got heavily involved with anti-poaching patrols in Africa. Went over there for 6 months to southern Africa and drove all over.
That led us on to wanting to help girl children. A girl child in Africa has no hope for anything at all unless she's educated.
They've been very transformative in their investments and their impact so that they can improve the lives of many young women in Kenya.
I've got several girls who are now in the university. 2 are becoming doctors. I've built women's clinics in schools.
I think John and Melody are people that see as their legacy the idea of giving back.
It's just part of who we are, is that giving.
Well, the Centennial Valley is the most beautiful valley in the lower 48.
Because Lakeview is in the center of this very pristine Centennial Valley, we always had our eye on it.
The town had been there since 1895, and it was a stagecoach stop.
Once the stagecoach was no longer in use, of course, and we have the automobile, Lakeview diminished.
The town became deserted, and it was sold then as an entity to people who wanted to hunt animals, deer, and that's what it was when finally it just wore out.
The Tafts, visionaries that they are, saw this as an opportunity, bought the town.
I had a friend I've known for a number of years, and he said, I'd like to help with this, and maybe I'll build here someday myself. And Mr. Nicholson, through his great generosity, started writing checks, and that first year he wrote over $1 million in checks.
Many of the cabins were totally buried in dirt. There was so much garbage. The first 2 years, all we did was haul garbage away.
The sort of degradation of the buildings was quite extreme.
There wasn't a piece of plumbing that worked.
Fortunately, we had Melody, who was very finicky.
Melody's amazing artistic eye was brought to bear in the transformation of the town into what it's become.
Dean Newman happened to come by and look at it.
He comes up and goes, this is pretty interesting what you guys are doing here.
We talked about doing a kind of sort of pioneering effort over 3 years.
He said, I'd like to propose one of our instructors to come and do a workshop.
The students were mesmerized by the landscape, transformed by the kinds of experiences they were having. Probably without an exception, Every student who's been there has felt magically transformed. When we were approaching the conclusion of the 3-year trial period, I presented my vision for moving forward, with the university being the owners of the Taft Nicholson Center.
To add this campus to their campus, I think is wonderful.
It makes our university quite distinct, and this becomes the model program and the go-to program in environmental humanities.
And I think the center is going to develop some programs that's going to be inspirational and life-changing to many, many people yet to come.
I wish to thank the University of Utah and the Alumni Association for honoring me with this award. It came as a total surprise, and thank you. I would like to single out Robert Newman because he was the catalyst and the man who really pushed for this gift to happen. And without him, it would not have happened. Thank you, Robert.
I want to thank the Alumni Association for this award. I'm delighted to receive it, even though my father insisted years ago never to use the word I or to let the ego get the best of you, which I feel it might have in this case. But I didn't come here, I don't think, to accept an award so much as I came here to hopefully inspire the many fine alumni that's out here with us tonight that will perhaps invite them, I want to invite them, to the center, to have them get inspired over this new addition to the University of Utah and perhaps find something that would delight them too in this coming years to come. Thank you to Dean Newman, to Fred Esplin, and to multitudes of other people that have enriched my life today. Thank you.